Welcome to this live with me, your girl Skylarkin. It's really good to be here and do another live. Today I'm going to be talking to somebody very special, someone I've known for a really long time, about something she's done for a really long time as a hobby, and she's taken it to new heights. So without further ado, I'm going to invite her to the live. And also, just so you know, I kind of do have little accents that I do use from time to time when I speak to people. So that might come up soon as well. So with my Essex accent. Hi, Carly.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm really well. I'm a bit cold today, so I'm a bit wrapped up. I don't know where the sun has gone.
I know. It's been really up in the air lately, hasn't it?
It has. It has. How's your Saturday going?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, I'm just taking it easy. It's a rare weekend off for me, so yeah, just preparing for the up and coming few weeks because I'm going to have a really busy period. So yeah, just making the most of the calm before the storm.
So I've had a really busy morning. So I've had two kids in different areas playing football. I've got a kids' party to go to in a bit. I've been trying to do lunch, and I'm
wow.
My son had a school trip, and I was like, dropped him off at 3 a.m. and then picked him up at 11 last night. And I was just, you know, when you just, I could do one of those quiet weekends like you. So I think I need one.
Yeah, I literally haven't had one in months. So yeah, it's a real rarity for me. So yeah.
Well, thank you in your spare time for coming and doing this interview with me. I'm just so over the moon to have this chat with you. I wondered if you could introduce yourself to everyone, so everyone could know a bit more about who you are and what you do.
Okie doke. So my name's Carly Denham. I don't know if there's anyone lot that I know. I think there is Mikey. Hi, Mikey. And Dave the Siberian. Hi, guys. So my name's Carly Denham. I've been a DJ for round about, I don't even know, about 20 odd years, 22 years, something like that. So most people might know me from Centreforce Radio. So it's DAB radio station that I play on and have been since the start of it for about the last 5 years. Before that, I kind of played on pirate radio stations and just all over the place, really. Played in bars, pubs, clubs, festivals, you name it. Private parties, weddings, all sorts. So yeah.
And what music do you play? What's your area of music?
Okay, so nowadays I play sort of along the lines of tech house and kind of vocal house, more sort of current, some underground and some sort of, I wouldn't say mainstream, mainly underground, to be honest with you, because my career has kind of moved more into events and festivals nowadays. But back in the day, I used to play. I've been through all the genres, to be honest. I started off with like house and garage in the 90s. So as you well know, the music scene's changed a hell of a lot since then. But what's cool nowadays is you tend to hear a lot of kind of remixed tracks and reworked tracks, which are really cool, and they've got that kind of old school feel. So that's my favourite sort of thing to do. So yeah, it's excited. It's blown up more than I ever thought it would, to be honest with you.
So how did you get started? Do you want to tell everyone how you got started?
Okay, so I've always been into music. You'll probably remember when we were at school, I always had a Walkman with me and always singing on the bus and stuff like that. Absolutely love music, always have. Been an avid collector of music all my life. Sort of, I used to collect vinyl when I was really young, and I always thought it was something out of my reach, especially being a female as well, because back in the day it was always kind of boys' club, and I felt like no one used to sort of take me that seriously. And you know, the sort of person I am, if I say I'm going to do something,
that is, do it twice and take pictures.
Exactly. Especially if I think, you know, if people say I can't do it. So yeah, it felt like impossible to begin with. So I thought, you know what, when I got a little bit older, early 20s, I thought I'm going to buy myself a set of vinyl decks, which was the thing back then. And I just practiced every day. Literally just, I just said to myself, like, I'm going to do it because I love it. And if it goes anywhere, fabulous. You know, I mean, obviously, secretly, it was always my dream. But, you know, it was kind of like, this is fun. Like, I love it. And we'll see where it goes, sort of thing. So, yeah, it just went from strength to strength. It took a long time because, like I said, back in those days, I don't feel like there was the opportunities that there are nowadays. I mean, goodness, there are, you know, there's academies nowadays. There's an explosion of it. There's so much opportunity. There's kind of so many different radio stations, so many different platforms that you can showcase DJing on. So I feel like nowadays it's so much better and easier to get into, easier to access, I guess, for everybody. So,
and you're self-taught. So where did you put in the time to learn to mix and blend tracks and
good
like
question. Yeah, so like I said, I had my son at a young age. So when I bought my vinyl decks, I set them up in my front room and we just used to have party time. And I used to put the music on. And it was nice because it was something that I loved and something that I could do at home. I kept my kind of sanity in a lot of ways, to be honest. Something I could do, you know, with my tailor as well. And he loves it and he's now a DJ as well. Which is amazing. So
I saw an interview that you did last year and you both had gone on one after the other on a set, and it was like that. How did that feel? Like,
oh, it's awesome. I mean, we've always kind of done it, you know, at home and things like that, and, you know, family parties and things, because we just love it. And sometimes we just get together and, you know, just have a little jam just because it's good fun, you know. But obviously when I got involved in Centreforce, and because of what we were doing to build towards getting the DAB license, my tailor come down and done some live streams with us, which was absolutely amazing. He's like a little me, my tailor. He literally is very musically minded, you know, and we'll be playing along back to back and I'll cue something up and he'll whisper in my ear, "Mum, play that." And I've already got it queued up.
so I do that a lot with my other half. Like I said to you, he DJs, and then I'll be like, "Oh, that would mix well with that." And so I guess you two do that naturally
100%.
as well.
Yeah, he's fabulous, my tailor. Like I said, he's literally got my mind. He's just a mini me, which is lovely. So yeah, and it's something, you know, we shared together when he was little. And we still continue to share, you know, like he comes to me to a lot of my events that I play at, and he loves it as well, and it's so cool, sort of having my son by my side,
absolutely,
now that he's a bit older and he can come to the events, obviously. So yeah, it's awesome.
And I had some questions, like how I was really proud when I saw that you was headlining for Clockwork Orange. How did that make you feel at that moment? Like,
oh, do you know what? Clockwork was a massive tick off my bucket list, I've got to say. I wasn't headlining, just to clarify, but I was obviously.
Well, I saw your name on the phone, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, playing as part of their lineup. But do you know what? Yeah, it's something else. Clockwork is a massive brand that we all know from back in the 90s. And I used to go to their events that they used to hold at Hollywood's in Romford, you know, back when I was really young, and you probably did as well. So to get to play for those guys, especially the way that they've come back recently over about the last sort of, you know, 5-6 years or whatever it's been, yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. It's amazing to see what they've achieved now, and to be part of it's just a dream, to be honest with you. So
it's amazing. Yeah. And who are your role models? Like, I saw that you, like, I think, was Ramsey one of your role models?
Yeah, I loved it. DJ Ramsey. I love all the sort of UK garage pioneers like Norris the Boss Windross, Ramsey and Fenn. Oh, there's like too many to name, like literally. And I've been very fortunate since I've got into it sort of more on the event side that I've met so many more of them. You know, on the old school side, you've got obviously Rat Pack, Slipmat, and obviously we're a collective all being involved with Centreforce Radio as well. So yeah, it's amazing, honestly. I've had so many pinch me moments in probably the last 5 years. I never thought I'd, you know, even get close to speaking to these people like back in the 90s, let alone you know, be on lineups with them and you know, getting to know them sort of thing. It's yeah, a dream come true. Absolutely.
What advice would you give to like a new upcoming DJ or somebody that was trying to get into something like be where you are now? What would you give advice to your younger self?
I always say to people, just enjoy your journey for a start, because we all start somewhere, right? So, you know, have patience and, you know, don't expect it to all happen overnight. But that said, it is a hell of a lot easier, like I said earlier, to access nowadays. So, you know, just buy your equipment, just enjoy the journey, enjoy your tunes, have fun with it, be creative. And one of the best bits of advice I could give is probably join a radio station. You know, nowadays there's so many like platforms that you can do that with. I mean, you could start off like practicing at home, doing lives on various platforms. Like, they're not a great lover of it on Facebook so much anymore, but there's other, you know, platforms you can use for going live and things like Twitch.
Yeah, my younger boys use that.
Yeah, Mixcloud Live, that sort of thing. But yeah, you just got to get yourself out there and get noticed. So for me, like, radio was the pinnacle to kind of get the ball rolling and things snowballing, really, because obviously, you know, it gets you out there, it gets you noticed, and you get to meet, you become part of a collective kind of thing, and you get to meet like promoters and obviously other DJs, and then it all kind of spirals from there, really. So yeah, that would be my best advice, and just enjoy every part of it. You know, we've all started off somewhere, and done like the early sets and things like that, and played at small events and things, but it all adds to your journey. It's not a testament to where you're going to end up. It's all adds to your experience, you know. I mean, I think that things like playing in bars, I got myself a residency. I've had a few actually over the years, but probably the longest one I held was at the Brickyard Bar and Grill in Romford, which most people probably know.
I was looking at some pictures, and I was with you there 8 years ago. I was like,
right? Yeah, I loved the Brickyard. Yeah, so that was a fab time for me, and again, that helps with your, you know, getting known by people, and, you know, builds up your reputation, and yeah, it just really helps, and it's your experience as well. Like, obviously, performing in front of quite a large crowd, as I was there. I mean, even if it's a smaller bar, it doesn't matter. You know, it's all good experience. You know, even the good times and the bad times make you who you are as a DJ.
Absolutely. So, and do you what happens in the background? So, like, how much planning goes behind putting together a set?
So the more you get into it, the more complex it can become. So obviously, you know, the more high profile events that you play for, and the more you start doing of it as well, it kind of, the pressure adds, but in a good way as well. It's a great challenge, don't get me wrong, but obviously if you're playing out like every week and you're playing at kind of similar events, and you know that there's going to be similar crowds and things like that, you don't want to be playing like the same stuff. And yeah, obviously it's good practice to kind of know your crowds and know your events, and it's a good idea to attend these events yourself as well, like before you start playing, you know, so that you kind of know what the vibe is, you know what they're going to expect, and sort of think about as well the other DJs that are on the lineup. You know, you don't want to be playing tracks that they've produced like right before their set or something like that, you know. It's, you know, I mean, obviously that's a compliment in some ways as well, but you know what I mean, you want to try and do something that is your vibe and not somebody else's kind of thing. But again, the added pressure of that comes more and more, like the more successful you get, which again is a fabulous challenge, and I'm fully hooked. I'll be hooked for
How
life.
do you feel when you play out? Do you feel the same, or is it a different for different events, or like what's the feeling?
Yeah, it's a different vibe. Like if every time you play, you know, it's a bit like Bertie Allsorts. You never know what you're going to get. But yeah, the energy is always different. You know, there's an element of planning and preparing your sets, but obviously, you know, you need to take a variety of music just in case the energy is different than you thought it was going to be. You can never kind of predict exactly how it's going to be. You can get a good idea, like obviously when you become more experienced and you know the scene, the crowd, etc., the event. And also the venue as well. I think the venue can change like the energy of what's needed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like the time that you're playing as well. You know, like you don't want to sort of play something too mental if you're like playing an opening set at, you know, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But then again, I've turned up at day parties where the vibe has just been, you know, crazy. So, you know, by like 2:30, 3 in the afternoon, it feels like 2 in the morning. So
yeah,
you
know,
so
I was at Soul Week last year June.
Yeah.
The promoters had different events happening at different venues, and I think one of the venues got moved last minute, and the vibe, they had to quickly cater to that different venue, and they managed it really well. But I can see how different venues can change the kind of ambience of the atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're playing at somewhere like Egg, London, we all know what Egg's like, right? So it's quite dark and, you know, dramatic in there, so you can go a little bit more mad. But then if you're playing like a nice sunny terrace, you might want to play something a bit more like uplifting and stuff like that, so a bit more bubbly. So that's just a little example. But yeah, I mean, preparation is key massively.
I know,
you know
that you used to practice at 6 a.m. before waking up the sun to go to school, and then you'd go to work.
Yeah, back in the day when my boy was little and I was trying to sort of fit in working full time, and, you know, still doing what I loved and improving on that, just chasing my dream with it, really. So I used to get up in the mornings and can mix. I call it can mix. So like you put the headphones on so that you can't hear the sound outside, and I would mix quietly, like in my headphones. It's not ideal, but I used to do that in the mornings before work sometimes. And
that's dedication right there.
Yeah.
And, you know, amazing.
I'd come home from work and, you know, maybe put something in the oven for dinner and then go away and practice like while I was waiting for that. And yeah, so just doing it for years. And then, you know, at weekends I'd just have party time in my front room and stuff like that if I weren't going out.
I was gonna say, would you suggest any tips for a young mum that is at home with a child? You know, if they've got something that they're passionate about, would you say, you know, to go for it like you did? Like,
absolutely.
What would you say to your younger self?
Just go for gold, and the sky's the limit. You know, I think my confidence now is through the roof compared to what it was back in my 20s. So I'm so glad that I stuck with it and followed my dreams. I am and was so passionate about it. But there were times when I really kind of doubted, you know, is this ever going to go anywhere and that sort of thing. I half didn't care though, so I think that was
you was having fun and enjoying it.
Because I loved it. It was like, do you know what, doesn't matter what happens, like, you know, I just love music. I just love the way it makes me feel, the way it makes other people feel. And
I know you worked full time while you was DJing. At what point did you go like part time to focus, so you could spend more time on the DJing and your events and radio as much as work as well?
Yes. So I worked for many years, full time, 5 days a week, up until probably about 4 or 5 years ago, which was at the point where I really started to get involved a lot more with events, festivals and clubs and all that sort of stuff, in a much bigger way than I ever had before. So it got to a point where I was getting so busy, and I was working for like some agencies and stuff as well, like doing private and corporate events, and that was really, really busy as well.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so the money was getting better, and it got to the point where thankfully I could cut down on my day work, but I was really, because I do teaching, I was really unsure, you know, whether they were going to accept that. And luckily the job that I had at the time was quite understanding about that, so, you know, and understood that it was a dream of mine and everything else. So I was really lucky to get an arrangement for 4 days a week, so that was fab. Like, it was so nice to kind of have that extra day to do what I needed to do. Well, in fact, it wasn't like an extra day, because I was working probably in those days more like 6 days a week, because I'm working like the Friday and Saturday nights. So as you can imagine, it was exhausting doing 5 days as well. So yeah, I was really lucky to get that opportunity, and then I carried that on when I went to my next job and the next job. So I was really lucky to I think
sort
once
of maintain it, so you can.
Yeah, absolutely, so that I could carry on.
Well, I know too well, like DJing and just having a radio show week to week takes a lot. So my other half did a radio show for 8 years at Pirate Station.
Yeah.
And I think I told you on the phone, like one Christmas dinner, we're sitting at the table
and he's
with his whole family, and he's gone to do his show. Yeah. And I'm like, it's Christmas Day.
Yeah, it is the nature of the beast. It's a massive commitment, but it's like anything else. If you love it, it's not a sacrifice or a big thing.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense. Like, you naturally want to do it. I mean,
and it doesn't feel like work, because it's play. It's something
because you love it. Yeah. So it's like the old saying, isn't it? You never do a day's work in your life if you love what you do.
Absolutely.
So it's very much like that. So you don't, because you kind of love it so much, you don't want to switch off from it as well. You do have to set boundaries for yourself, because I have found periods where, you know, I've almost like burnt out a little bit, because you sort of you're so.
How do you do that? What do you do for yourself?
So I'm quite good nowadays. I make it a regular part of my routine to go to the gym 3 times a week. You know, just a bit of mindfulness, sometimes a bit of meditation. I love yoga as well. I'm quite regular yoga goer. I really enjoy that. But you have to kind of have that switch off period. I mean, you know, like I said, the kind of the more and the more events you do, the more you get involved with, like, it can be crazy. Like, the minute you pick your phone up, there's someone asking you to, can you share this, can you do that? But, you know, like I said, it is because I love it so much, I take it in my stride most of the time. But you do have to sort of say to yourself, right, this afternoon I'm not going to do nothing, I just need to do me, like, for a couple of hours. Or, you know, yeah, can still, even though I work part-time, like, because I do such a lot, it can still be a little struggle at times, but it's a struggle that I embrace, and I feel blessed every day to do what I do. I love it.
Yeah, you did say that to me. You said every morning I wake up so grateful to be able to do what I love.
100%. Yeah, and I hope long may it continue.
Absolutely. You know, onwards and upwards.
Yeah.
Onwards and upwards. So, like, is there any music that you really don't like?
I am not a lover of drill music and all that kind of stuff. I think it's soulless and negative and not really my bag. I mean, each to their own, you know. I can appreciate the talent behind it and things like that, because I am a music lover, but it's just not my vibe.
And on that note, you told me you've started to make your own music.
I have, yes, just recently.
You want to tell us about that?
I've started on a journey with making music. I'm at a very early part of it, I might add. So it's, yeah, I won't be making any releases too soon. But I'm just having fun with it at the moment. I'm on a course later on in the year for it. And yeah, just enjoying messing around, making a few mashups, you know, just extra things to sort of add to my set. Yeah, it's good fun. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying that at the moment. But again, it's, you know, with everything else I do, it's quite tough to fit that in. So it's going to be a little bit of a slow burner, that one.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you produce as well.
Thank you.
Has there ever been a time that you've had to like stop DJing, and like what was that like? Or have you ever had any breaks in your?
Well, not up until the COVID period. Obviously, that was a break for everyone in the music and entertainment industry. I was still working as a teacher throughout it, so thankfully I still had income, which was really good. But yeah, not being able to be sociable, you know, and do what I do, like as a DJ, it just killed my soul. Like literally, it was awful. Probably one of the worst times I've experienced, to be honest with you, because I'm very much a people person. I love being around people. I love people's energy and just the whole thing, you know, like the music, the vibes, everything, and to have that taken away, and at first it was so scary. It was like you didn't know what was going to happen, and if we'd ever get it back.
Yeah.
You know, there was so many different stages with it.
So we had a 50th birthday party booked like 2 weeks before lockdown for my other half, and yeah, we had to cancel it all, and we ended up doing it on Zoom, and he had his decks out, and then we just had people on the Zoom listening to the music. But obviously that was just one thing. And then I think in the summer when they allowed us to open up, we had a sort of a delayed party, which was lovely. But it just impacted so many of us, just with our mental health, with our social interaction, loneliness, isolation. It just affected so many people and made those that were vulnerable so much more vulnerable. So
100%.
And I still don't think things have gone quite back to anywhere near pre-COVID. So I feel like there is still a long way for a lot of us, for businesses, for, you know, like I had a party in November just gone, bearing in mind that's 2 years after COVID, and I had people here that it was their first time since COVID that they'd come out. And now I'm trying to book onto things and I can't even get tickets sometimes, because now everybody wants to be out. Like everybody wants to be out now because they've had enough.
Yeah, I must admit, it has gone crackers since we've come out of COVID, because I think everyone was so itching to get back out there and get back to doing what they love. And yeah, I mean, I've seen events all over the place selling out. It's crazy, and so many more people like starting events and things like that as well. So there's it's so saturated now. There's so many different events. I mean, it's great for everyone, you know, great for us DJs, great for, you know, the people that come to the events as well, because there's so much to choose from. Yeah, it's just exploded.
It's like quite overwhelming, because it's like you've got to manage your diary quite well then.
Massively. Yeah.
You said something to me over the phone, didn't you? You said last year, how many weeks did you work out the year DJing? I think, was it pretty much
of about 48 weeks out of the year.
That's amazing. Like, honestly, I think hats off to you just for doing that.
And I'm
alone.
Still alive.
Especially at our age, you know.
I know, right? The struggle is real once you're over 40.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? Like, so you've already told me what goes on behind closed doors, what you're up to and stuff. What's next for you?
So I've got a lot of events for later on this year. Clockwork again. I'm really stoked to be at Clockstock on the 1st of July. That's going to be amazing. Party of the year for me. Absolutely love it. But I've got lots booked in with all different promoters, some new that I've not played for before. So I'm really excited about that. I will be in Ibiza later in the year as well, in October. And Corfu as well in September. So yeah, it's exciting. I've got lots and lots to look forward to, lots of festivals. I've got a festival next week in Bedfordshire called Flip Fest. That's a really cool one. I've not played there before, so I'm really excited to do that. Yeah, so just more of the same really, and just trying to get on with the production side of things. Really excited to start creating my own material. I mean, even if it is just like kind of mashups and stuff, I'd really like to make my own remixes in the future. And just,
is there anything else you'd really like to do, or like on your dream bucket list still?
Do you know what? I sky's the limit. I mean, whatever comes my way, if it's within my reach, I'll give it a go, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, Ibiza was obviously a massive bucket list one for me. I played out there for the first time last year, which was amazing. I played at Pike's Hotel, which is quite an iconic place in Ibiza, so that was really amazing.
And how did that make you feel, like when you were there?
It was really surreal. I mean, obviously I'd never actually been to the venue myself before that, so it was actually where they filmed Club Tropicana for Michael's video. Yeah, so it really is an iconic place.
And how long was your set?
An hour. Yeah, my sets usually are an hour, unless like some events I get booked for and I play 2 hours. So yeah, that's the way it rolls.
That must be wicked. Like, yeah. And you're there again this year?
I am, yeah. So that would be amazing. I've got to say, probably somewhere like Mambo's and some of the big clubs in Ibiza, like Amnesia or something, that would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, that they're definitely bucket list venues. So yeah, it's exciting.
Well, I'm rooting for you, and I know you're going to get there. So like, you know, it's been amazing to see your journey. It's been amazing to see you play. It's been amazing to see you transition onto radio and now doing your own music and supporting your son with his DJ career. And yeah, it's amazing, and I'm so proud of you. So, you know, keep doing what you're doing. I'm really glad that you've been able to share some of your time on your weekend off with me and everyone else, to maybe encourage someone else that's interested in DJing, maybe even a young mum.
Yeah,
to inspire them. Like, you know, just do what you can with what you can, and just keep those dreams alive, and just you know,
that's what I think. You know, like, if you haven't got dreams, what have you got, right? Do you know what I mean? No one can take that away from you. So yeah, just keep on keeping
absolutely absolutely. And I'm forever doing goals and like vision boards, and like always reviewing them, and I'm sure you do as well. And and just like move the goalpost a bit when you smash a goal. Like, look at what's next for you, and just try and move like in baby steps. Just take little baby steps to the next level. So where can people find you? Like, where are you on social media?
So obviously my DJ name is my own name, so you can search me on all platforms, Carly Denham, like DJ Carly Denham. Find me on, well, obviously here, Instagram. I'm also on TikTok as DJ Carly Denham, Facebook. Where else am I?
And Centre Force, when's your show on Centre Force?
Yes, of course. So Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. until 10 p.m, but that's bi-weekly. So I was on last week, so I'll be back, not this coming week, but the week after, the 23rd. So you guys can catch me there, and you can watch me live on Centre Force as well. So obviously that's live on DAB radio. So if you've got a DAB radio, you can just find 883 Centre Force. Or you can...
And your stuff's on Mixcloud as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We've got an app as well, like the 883 Centre Force app. So you can watch like a live video of us playing in the studio, like all the DJs, not just me. And it also streams live across Mixcloud as well. So you can find us there for 883 TV. So on Mixcloud, just search like 883 Centre Force, and we'll be on there live, like streaming. But you can also go on Mixcloud and find all of our like rewind shows. So every show that we do is recorded, and you'll find it on there, so you can listen back. So,
good on you. Well done.
Oh, and
Thank
SoundCloud
you.
as well. That's one more. But yeah, just DJ Carly Denham. That's it.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, it has for me too. And we're going to do coffee soon as well, aren't we?
Yes, we need to, definitely.
All right, darling. You have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. Bye.